no shortage of collectibles in this game and trophies, and you've really taken everything that people loved about Astro's Playroom and just quadrupled it, probably more so. What was it like scaling it up so much, but still sticking to the things that people loved?
So we had to take a step back and go back to prototyping to really kind of gather a lot of components. So like new power-ups, because the DualSense is always at the heart of everything we make, right? For a power-up to qualify, it has to be something that works with the platforming. So it allows you to extend your jump either horizontally or vertically, or and take the experience to another level. But also it has to be an expression that really works with the DualSense. So
it's not just in game. Like, one thing that my eldest daughter discovered, we had collected a bunch of bots, and then she's holding the controller and she's going, I can feel them in here. They're rattling around inside the controller. And that, I'm like, that is so cool that you can feel, like, it feels like you're actually holding the shit. You're holding the bots. Like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, I'm sure.
Yeah, it is. And so, one of the pillars we have in Team Asobi is we call it techno magic, and this is about, the stuff we do with the hardware, physics, and stuff like that. But your example just now, that's about breaking the fourth wall, right? So it's like you're inside the game, but actually your controller is really and that's magical, even to adults, because it's like, how do you do it? How is it that I can feel them like tumbling in? But and you almost start believing they're really inside, right? And so that, or Astro waving at you, all of these things that sort of break the usual codes of video games, these are really welcome, because they're just like, it's all about fooling us for the moment of that game that we're in that kind of magic land, right? And that's something that I think, when I think back as a kid and playing some of the early video games, I had a lot of these feelings, in fact, just looking at my first video games. And then we get used to it, and we get less and less sensitive to these things. But I like to think about how it's going to feel for the new generation to pick up this controller and to really feel like, to be playing Astro, and they're going to get those feelings. And I think it's both it's a responsibility, but it's also a massive privilege to be able to put these experiences in people's for the first time. Can I ask how old your children are?
9 in a couple of weeks and 6.
That's perfect, right?
Absolutely, both girls, perfect age. Every time we finish a level, I have one daughter on one side, another on the other, and we both press the triggers at the same time, and we're just straight into the start.
So you're talking about your children, like 6 and 9. I really hope that whatever they felt or the feeling playing this game will be something they're gonna like carry, for the rest of their lives, and they'll talk to their children about that old game, Astro Bot, the old console. So this is, I think, it's the whole kind of like, how would I say, beyond the game and the product, and I think to me, like, there's a bigger story, which is like, generation bridge between our generation and our kids. And how, using these 30 years of history, we're able to make an exchange. Because I'm sure there are moments where they asked you, Daddy, who is that, like Sly Raccoon?
Oh,
they don't know, right? But then you have a story to tell them, and you feel quite proud, and it's great because you're passing something to them, and all of that, I think that's priceless. You can't, and some of it is a happy accident, some of it is design, but to me, that's the stuff that I'm most kind of excited and proud about. It's just this thing where. That's really about bringing a little bit of joy into people's homes, and if we can do that with video games, then then it's great.
Exactly, and it's much appreciated. So, thank you. There's no other games that do it. I'd like to think that every PlayStation 5 game would offer that experience, but yours is truly something special. And I hope more developers out there take note, and we can have so many more of these experiences, because it really it does take it to another level. What's the one thing that you want players to know about Astro Bot's new adventure? What's your message to players?
Okay, so one of the things is that first, it's a big game, and when I mean big, it's like we're never obsessed with the size of games, but I think it's important to to explain to people why it's a game that is, because Astro's Playroom was a free game, and there's a difference between the tech demo that was inside the console and this version. So of course that's a message that we're kind of careful to explain properly. Talking about like these games that are very expansive worlds, open worlds, and I play Elden Ring and I play these big games. I think it's also nice to come back to kind of compact, relaxing things that just make you laugh and make and I think we all need a little bit of that in our lives. It's been a difficult 3-4 years with Corona and all of that, and and I hope that this game is like a bubble of fresh air for people to play. Whether it's with family or whether it's just even in a different context, but if we can put smiles on people's faces and bring a bright light around the game, I think it's mission accomplished. I think it's and doing that next to these amazing AAA narrative kind of dramatic games, or that's totally fun. The two can coexist and should coexist, and I think the balance should be there on the PlayStation portfolio, and I hope Astro is there to kind of bring that angle, I think.
There is more to come. I've finished it all at the moment, but there is more coming. There's DLC.
Yes, so we have free DLC, so it's going to be free. It's going to come this year. It will be small. It's not going to be like a huge amount, but it would be focusing on one of the features that people enjoyed in Astro's Playroom. That was the speedruns. There were some speedruns, and you could you can. The level are quite short, but the fact you can replay and keep shaving time off with some new VIP bots to rescue, so that some characters that we didn't include yet will appear. But yeah, that's gonna come, and that's going to focus really on kind of challenging levels. But if we can, we'd like to also insert something a bit more of kind of toy feeling, something that could be really like for any players. But we're not too sure about that one. But the challenging stuff is definitely coming.
And will that include things like leaderboards? Like, will I be able to compete with my friends?
Yes. Yeah.
It's been an absolute honor speaking with you, and thank you for bringing some joy into my house for the last week. It's been truly wonderful. So thank you so much, Nicolas. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. These stories, these are like true stories of you and your daughter. I'm just imagining, I'm picturing it. This stuff, this is really the stuff that matters to us, right? That's why we get up in the morning. It gives us like a tangible like reason. It's to me, it's more than business. It's really about these experiences, really genuinely.
I agree. It's nice to kind of offer them something, because I'm not always playing the nice fuzzy games. I'm like you. I'm playing some horror. I'm playing some shooters that I can't let them see. So to be able to invite them into my world as well, it's nice. It's wonderful.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm very glad. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.